What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. The news just keeps coming. This video, honestly, I probably should have made yesterday, but with all the news going on, and I wanted to upload all the stuff relating to lore coming out yesterday, there's just so much to get through. But today, we're going to be talking about a brand new Super Evolution arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and I believe it's going to be starting as soon as the French Anniversary Sugo Fest goes live. I also want to touch up on the Part 3 Sugo Fest. I talked about Part 1 and Part 2 yesterday. I didn't really talk about Part 3 at all, but Part 3 is actually significantly different compared to the other two parts, which I'll touch up on in this video a little bit later. But I want to talk about the Super Evolution first, because that's the big news I wanted to get through in this video, is going to be Mako. Mako is finally getting his Super Evolution on Global, and it makes sense why he's releasing now. I believe he released around about this time frame on JP when Shanks' crew arrived, and he works perfectly with Shanks' crew. He is the main way that this character works, obviously with his captain effect, is a quick and Psy captain. Shanks' crew is quick and side, depending on which character you have out at the time, so works well in that regard, but also just is a good unit in general. So let's go through his new abilities. His artwork as well looks absolutely phenomenal. Really, really cool how he's got the phoenix in the background. But Mako is a quick fighter powerhouse. His classes and colors do not change. His captain effect, which actually does slightly get upgraded. Actually, I wouldn't say slightly upgraded, it's a pretty big upgrade. So quick and side characters get a 4x attack boost when they have full HP. That's fantastic, as long as you're at full HP. And I don't think it'll be at full HP. I'm pretty sure, like in most cases where it says full HP, it's just above 99%, which means that if you are using like a dual unit, for example, and you use their switch effect, in certain circumstances, you're not going to like be below 99%, but either way, it should be above 99%. And then if you're not at full HP, it's still a 3.5 times boost. You get a 30% damage reduction if you're above 70% HP. So in that circumstance, you're getting a lot of damage reduction. It's actually kind of just like a weaker version of V3 lore, which just released globally, worldwide, simultaneously. It's essentially a weaker captain of that. Very similar in the fact is that it's like if you're at full HP, you get a big boost. If you're not, you get a slightly lesser boost, and there's the really good passive damage reduction, except that V3 lore also heals and has damage reduction all the time, rather than only when you're above 70% HP. So just comparing and contrasting the two characters, against Mako and lore, captain effect wise, he is much better. But in a lot of cases, you're probably not going to be using him as a captain. He's likely going to be boosted, probably a 1.35 point booster in the next treasure map coming up. So I could definitely see him being used as a captain in one of the Battle Rush bosses for sure. As for his special ability, for his cooldown didn't change upon super evolving. So I've got it up on the database here on the side, so you can see right there, currently it says 25. That goes down to 18 turns, and then after you limit break him, it goes down to 16. He does have a limit break expansion, which will actually make him go all the way down to 14 turns, but personally, I don't think it's worth using a key and all those materials to limit break expand this character. I mean, you can if you want, but I just don't think it's well worth it. So if you don't do the limit break expansion, it's a 16 turn cooldown, but if you do choose to do it, it's additional 2, going you down to 14 turns, which is pretty good. So comparing the special ability of the old Mako to what he does now, the old Mako was 100 times his recovery is healed back, which is huge. You're healing back mass amounts of recovery, or of HP, based on his recovery stat, and then it's a 1.5 times orb boost for 2 turns. So what they've done this time around with his Super Evolution is not much change, really. It's still going to be the 100 times his character in recovery healed, which is a huge amount of HP that you get back, and it's a 2 times orb boost for 1 turn instead. And that's all they've done. So Mako doesn't really change that much upon super evolving. He does get slightly higher stats, and his captain effect is much more usable, but honestly, looking at him, I don't think it's worth using the materials to super evolve him if you have to super evolve some other characters first. He does need a blue skull. Some other really powerful characters do need blue skulls, like Legend Lucy or Snake Man Luffy. All those characters require blue skulls to super evolve into their forms, which are much better characters in my opinion compared to this guy, because he doesn't really get that much of an upgrade, which is unfortunate. But as I said, his captain effect is much better, but not like a top tier legend you're going to be using to clear a lot of content, but still good. So, you know, that's the new 6+ Marco. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about him down below. I would kind of wish that they gave him something else. This was one of the characters that I think he was one of the first characters in the game to get a Limit Break expansion, which is why he didn't really get much in his expansion. He didn't get a buffed captain effect or anything like that. It would have been good if he did, because it would have made him a lot better, but anyway, I digress. Let's talk about the Part 3 Sugo Fest very quickly before we end this video today. So, for Part 3, as I mentioned, you know, Part 1 is guaranteed Shanks crew. Part 2 is guaranteed Arlong, depending on how many multis you do. Now, Part 3 is a little bit different. So you can see in the background of that artwork there's a whole bunch of characters or Straw Hats from the East Blue. Now, for those of you who are well in tune with the JP side of things, you would recognize these artworks. These are, well, this was actually a separate banner where you could pull for these Straw Hat characters, the East Blue Straw Hats that were available, and they were used for a certain mission that would be coming up later on down the line. And for some reason, they're just debuting them right now on the Part 3 banner. So I really hope that they're going to be pullable in the other parts as well, but we're not 100% sure right now, because if we have a look at the steps, every single step is a guaranteed new Straw Hat Pirates character, and obviously step 3, step 6, step 9, and that's it. And then Part 10, number 10, is all wanted posters are legends. So yeah, that's pretty cool, but this specific part is basically if you want to go for those Straw Hats, they're going to be available. So what do these Straw Hats do? They are actually in the recommended pool, which we can go ahead and have a quick look at. They're not like god tier characters, but they're kind of nice units to have. I like this Sanji artwork, it's really cool. This was a great moment in the anime, of course. So the captain effects of all these characters, don't worry about them too much, but their special abilities is why you would want them. So this Sanji, 11 turn cooldown, boost damage dealt against defense down by 1.75 for 1 turn, so pretty good conditional boost. Reduces all enemies damage threshold by 5 turns, so great utility there. Changes empty and badly matching slots into recovery, and then if your captain is strength or quick, makes those recovery slots beneficial. So you can see, like, the utility and the conditional boost are really good, but I don't know, the all manipulation's a little situational because you need to have empty slots. So I haven't read the rest of these characters, so I guess if one of these characters empties your slots, it would work really well. But currently, as it stands right now, I'm not really a big fan of the Sanji. Character's recovery slot is carried over if you hit it perfect. Okay, it's whatever. And his support effect doesn't really do much, yeah. But he does have the ship bind ability. That's interesting. That's not something that you see too often, so interesting to say the least. Usopp is the next one. Usopp is a Sai shooter. Special, 11 turns, boost damage dealt against delayed enemies. So Sanji was defense down conditional, he is a delayed conditional, and reduces enemies blue shield defense up and damage reduction, so rainbow shield and blue shield by 3 turns, and then changes empty slots and unfavorable, so badly matching, into tandem, and then if your captain is strength or Sai, you get the tandem slots beneficial. It's pretty similar to Sanji, just with some very, very minor differences. Okay, it's whatever, again, nothing amazing. Reduces blindness by 3 turns is a good crewmate ability. Always nice to have that, I suppose. The next one is Nami. So Nami's going to be here. She has also an 11 turn cooldown. She's an int cerebral striker. Reduces the crew's special bind duration by 3 turns. And reduces the enemy's end of turn healing and resilience by 5 turns. Delays enemies for 1 turn, so works well with the Usopp. And then if your captain is strength or int, you get a 0.5 chain boost for 1 turn. And does she have the crewmate ability? She does. Okay, she does remove special bind, and she reduces all paralysis by 1 turn. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But then again, there are a lot of characters in the game that do reduce special bind by 3 turns, so I guess it's not anything too uncommon. But I guess if you're using all these Straw Hats on the same team, you could probably get some cool things out of it. But yeah, again, like, these Straw Hats are just okay. They're not, as I said, they're not god tier characters. You don't need to summon for these units. I think it's much better to summon for the other banners where you get lots of guaranteed red posters. That's what I would suggest anyway. So Zoro is the second last one. He is a Dex slasher driven. Special ability, 11 turns, reduces the crew's bind and despair duration by 3 turns, drastically reduces enemies' defense, so works well with Sanji to get the conditional boost, and reduces the special charge time by 1 turn. That's nice. And if your captain is strength or dex, you get a 2.75 chain lock. Okay, I dig it. And he reduces special reverse, right, so you can still use his special to rewind your character's cooldowns, right. And then the last character is Luffy. So Luffy is obviously meant to be used as the main captain here, because a lot of these specials that are used on the team are relying upon your captain to be, you know, a certain color, Luffy being able to be, you know, fulfilling that condition. He's a strength fighter free spirit. If every type is on the crew, boost the crew's attack by approximately 3.5 times. If you have a matching slot, 3 times otherwise, and then boost the chances of you landing on a matching slot, or landing on a type slot, should I say. It's not landing on a matching slot, on a type slot. So, okay, obviously it works well with the new badge, but the East Blue Straw Hats, they're not amazing. Special ability, 12 turns, boost the crew's attack and slot effects by 1.75 for 1 turn. That's pretty good. And then changes slots randomly, including block slots, unless they are tandem or recovery, to matching. That's pretty good. That's actually a pretty good special. Yeah, that's not bad. So if they're matching or they're tandem or recovery, he doesn't change them, but otherwise he will. Okay, that's not a bad special overall. You can use that in a lot of different teams, actually, just to get a free 1.75 attack and all boost. And, you know, if you got any bad slots, you can shuffle them away. So it's interesting, but again, nothing game-breaking. None of these guys have, like, amazing supports either. Makes his own quick slots have matching slot effects as well. So yeah, all of those Straw Hats that we just talked about are all available in this banner. Basically, every multi, you're guaranteed to get one of those new Straw Hats. And, you know, every couple of steps or every few steps, you're going to be getting a red poster. I really hope that all of those Straw Hats are going to be available on parts 1 and 2. That would be really good if that's the case. I would probably think that's not going to be the case. I would think part 3 is just going to be a side thing where if you just have a few extra gems lying around, you could potentially pull them. But what I would be suggesting is to conserve your gems and either just, you know, use them all on part 1 and part 2, or to conserve them for the Treasure Map Sugo Fest, which is going to be likely debuting on, I think, August 5th or 6th is what people were saying, which would be the conclusion of this particular banner. That's what I would suggest. But that is going to wrap up this video today, talking about the new Super Evolution Marco and talking about the new East Blue Straw Hats that are going to be debuting on part 3 of the French Anniversary Sugo Fest. Hopefully, we should be getting some more information pertaining to the French Anniversary over the coming days regarding events coming up and potentially some gem sales, which I'm hoping we're going to see some pretty good gem sales. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.